Mama, how do you do? Hey, what's up? Baba, how do you do? Hey, what's up? Sister, how you do? Hey, what's up? Brother, how you do? Hey, what's up? Yeah, Shabab, my name is Yenuan. Yeah, Shabab, and I the Kalam. Sudan, Salam, Aman. South Sudan, Salam, Aman. Manaya Gari, the Junubi Gari, Salam, Gari. Manaya Wiri, the Pulusul Gari, Salam. Salam, Sibidari, Farahman. Malay Ahadi, Masman. Salam, Sibidari, Farahman. Malay Ahadi, Masman. Jerusalem, I know Mama, Jerusalem. I know Jana, Jerusalem. Just no more, Baba say no more, Baba say no more.
Back to you, Jojo.
Hi, welcome everybody to Nile Nation Network. Welcome our audience. Share our video. Today is a new day. It's May 1st, 2021. Nile Nation Network is welcome everybody to our show today. We apologize for not being here last weekend. We apologize on behalf of our team because our team members and all of us in South Sudan are going through hard time. Some of our members have lost relatives, and we apologize for that. That's why it was a sad day for us, as a tradition that we have to mourn together. All of us, we lost people, our loved ones, our relatives, so we decided not to come live. But today we're here. Uh, um, uh, I just want to send my condolences to the people that we lost, my prayers and condolences. And as a team, for team members too, we just want to say our prayers are with you. Uh, for those of you that are here with us today, I want to welcome Nile Nation team, Mr. William Goldit, welcome. Mr. Simon, welcome. Mr. Wal Mabor, welcome. So we are streaming live. Share on the WhatsApp group, share on Facebook group. We are continuing our topic. Our today's topic is a continuation of the corruption, because we started talking about corruption last time in South Sudan. So we're continuing today to talk about corruption in details. Welcome, everybody. And as we usually do, we start with the highlights. But before we start with the highlights, I would like to ask Simon, please, to play one more song while we share. Let us share. Let us keep on inviting people, inviting our friends, share to groups, and bear with us. Just welcome and be patient. Thank you.
Samantha Kurujuja, Samantha Kurujuja, Waladi, Samantha Kurujuja, Yuma, Samantha Kurujuja, Biti. Let me take a jackal babulu, let me take a jackal bashrabu. Tamatis yani red, patatis yani red, kerekete yani red, shata bedola, rabuna kalakle na turab, wotile na bakar ketir. Yes, Kalena Kuruju. Yeah, okay, Samantha Kuruju, Yuma. Samantha Kuruju, Waladi. Samantha Kuruju, Yaba. Samantha Kuruju, Biti. Let me take dinner before. Let me take dinner before God. Rabuna kalang lena turap. Wajilena bakar ketir. Yes, kalena kuruju. Ya ode samanta kuruju ja. Yuma kalena kuruju. Samanta kuruju ja. Wadati kalena kuruju. Samanta kuruju ja. Yaba kalena kuruju. Samanta kuruju ja. Tiki kalena kuruju. Akuma bitar. Akuma bitar. Ekali tilu suwe yami. Ekali pupu bifere. Sali saloma sikal. Ekama tarama mohim. Yemi ajat al babulu. Ajat al babulu.
It is your turn, Jojo.
Thank you. I love the song that says,
Kalam
South Sudanese, Kamkurujuja, and it's about time people cultivate. If agriculture and cultivation, there will be no corruption. Government encourage the people to start planting. You know, there will be peace. There will be, no more. People will focus on cultivating, and then they cultivate. Before Khartoum, they said "Nakul miazra." You eat what you sow. You know, so we need peace in South Sudan. Our people are so from running war. It's about time we need to start Kuruju. You know. That being said, I wanted to welcome the audience, and I want to thank you guys for sharing a show to different social media outlets. So welcome. With that being said, to the highlights. Go first, because we usually do the highlights from South Sudan. I'll go 25th. News is from Juba, South Sudan. The UN has Nicholas Haysom to head the UNMISS in South Sudan. The United Nations General Antonio Simon.
Hello?
Yeah. Can you mute yourself?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. From Juba, I heard that the United Secretary General Antonio Guterres in this year in January, he has announced that he's going to appoint Nicholas Haysom to be the new in Juba. January 30th, the government says 1 and wounded 3 during a road ambush. Eastern Equatoria State, 3 arrested in Eastern Equatoria following on 8 work. Meridi, Western Equatoria, hepatitis is on the rise in the county of Meridi of Western Equatoria State. It has raised alarm. A chief has been kidnapped in Yei River State County. Community chief of Kondok Boma in Yei, Payam, identified as Johnson Luate, was kidnapped and from his residence last week, and his whereabouts is not. Juba, the UNC condemns attacks on aid workers in Unity State on April 5th on the humanitarian staff and assets in Sudan's Unity State. We have lost some there, and we've read, and my teammate William Goldit will elaborate on that. We have read that some Equatorian, most of the Equatorians youth that are working in the U.S. attacked over there. So with that being said, I pass to Mr. Mabor.
Thank you, Joyce. And the report that I will put is some of them. Some of them are past report. In Lagos State, the elected bishop of Lagos State has been shot in the legs and transmitted to a hospital. Now he's in Nairobi, and is under recovery. So and the investigation arrested 15 people with the connection of the issue of the shooting. And in Lagos State, 20 people got killed within past 2 weeks, and another 2 women killed in Ural with the connection of revenge, and left orphan kids. That's a Lagos State report. And go to other places. Nothing that much that I could give, so I give back to you. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mabor. We continue with the highlights. Mr. William, you can go ahead.
Yeah, thank you, Juju. Thank you, Mabor. Thank you, Simon. And thank you for our audience. The highlight, I start with Upper Nile. The source is Radio Tamazij من الراديو تمازج اللي هو تاريخ يوم 23 شهر 4 2021. العناوين بقول deadly ambush leave 2 dead in Jungle state. So Tang Shantum, the Ural County Commission, told Radio Tamazij that 2 people, including the former Health Minister Riek Guy Cook's wife, were killed, 1 injured, while 4 others are still missing after their vehicle were ambushed by the armed men on Wednesday while they were traveling from Bor to Ural County in Jonglei State. The county officials said no arrest was made because the civilians were traveling without a security escort. So في جنجلة في تاريخ يوم 23 شهر 4 كان في هجوم على الطريق في منطقة الكونتي تبع يورول في جنجلي ستيت، وكان نازل في السيارة من الجماعة اللي كانوا في السيارة كان في مرة بتاع الوزير الكان وكداك وزير اسمه رياك جاي كوك، مرته كان من صفوف ناس اللي كان قتلوا، 2 اتقتلوا في الحادثة أيضا و4 بعضهم مفقودين. ولكن سلطات بقول كمان قال لغادا سري ما تم انضبط للمجرمين اللي هو عملوا الهجوم. خبر مؤسف جدا. وتاني the highlight is from at the level of federal source هو نياملبيديا تاريخ اللي هو 22 2021. العناوين بقول نيال دانغ نيال and team on expedition to Nigeria and Damascene to seek underworld power. Niall Deng gave out $2.7 million to team to pay for a strong black magical power to help him return to the government in the coming cabinet reshuffling and kill those who plan for his exit in J1. Group 1 left to Damascene, Sudan, led by Niall, a top hitman known as Emmanuel Akok Malek Akwain, who is a major in External Security Bureau. Group 2 left to Barghazal, headed by South Sudanese ambassador to Uganda called Kalaman Deng Akich. But Deng Akich advised the magician to work on the president so that Niall take over the power in a bloodless coup. However, the magician told him to go away because magician himself is working with President Salva Kiir. The group 3 was assigned to be responsible for a Facebook, such as taking daily writing article. So, namely, Deep Ustaz Maurice Mobor, Awake Jock, and Yelma Yardit to oversee online activities and to campaign against Niall Deng, his enemies, and the government. Each one was given $10,000. Team 4, led by Madame Guy Deng Niall and Deng Niall himself, to East African Parliament. However, Madame Guy is very annoyed with Nigerian, which Dr. whom she gave $300,000, which was the last money left in her saving to ensure her brother was not removed from J1. So, and lastly is from radio, High Radio, title Khalil Mahir likely to make South Sudan a shelter for criminal activities. Information. A new report suggests that South Sudan risks becoming a breeding ground for transnational criminal workers after it gave sanctuary to Ali Khalil Mahir, who is well known for doing business in places where the rule of law is weak. Khalil escaped from persecution in Paraguay, Brazil, and Argentina in the year 2000 for many crimes, including a deadly terrorist attack that left 86 people dead in the airline in 1994. The Sintari found that for more than a decade, the government of South Sudan has supported Khalil and granted him a citizenship, a lucrative contracts, and even the title of honorary consul. He built network with the government official, including the daughter of President Salva Kiir. By 2013, Khalil owned more than 10 companies, including a Skyline Travel and Tourism Agency, a company jointly owned with Nyawech, daughter of Thomas Duth, the former Director General of the General Intelligence Bureau. Khalil also ran the mining company with Adut, the daughter of President Salva Kiir. Khalil owned a crown hotel which the government used to host its senior official. In 2018, the then Ministry of Petroleum Ezekiel Lul got caught accumulated around 680,000 in hotel fees during a long stay in hotel. Yes, yeah. Previously, report indicated that such ventures were fueling conflict in the equatorial region, causing mass displacement of inhabitants to pave way for extraction of mineral, notably gold. But the report recommended that the government of Southern Sudan take a step to improve transparency across the sectors, empower oversight institution, and establish an adequate funded staff and train financial intelligence unit. So that is the last highlight I want to share with you. Thank you. So
Thank you, Mr. William.
I would like to just mention something in this regard, which is I don't want to go over them all, but one important thing is just how we become vulnerable, so vulnerable as a nation, still too young, the nation that buried a lot of million of it people just to have a freedom, but we have a foreign now who are criminal coming and making big money in our own country while our people are just dying in the refugees camp. Thank you.
Uh,
So
thank you, William. I know it's bread. It's hurting us, when we hear news like that, and this is part of the corruption itself. Our today's topic uh, is the continuation of corruption in South Sudan in details, whether it's administrative, financial, and so on and so forth. So, if you want to join us to educate, to share your opinion, you're most welcome. You can come join us later. But what William was saying, I just want to add, because last time we talked about corruption in South Sudan. We said that South Sudan is the only country that people become millionaires and billionaires by working in the government, or by your uncle working in the government, or by your family, or by being a minister or in the military. So even politicians working in the government, they're cutting deals, starting from the president, like we said last time, until the president daughter, until most of the guys in the military, whether they're the politicians, all of them, they become rich over time. And with that, I just want to add to that. What are we teaching ourselves? What are we teaching the next generation, the future generation of the country? Is it by stealing? Like I said, corruption. When I define corruption, is stealing. Is stealing the government resources and using it for your personal gain. So corruption to me it's stealing. So what are we teaching the what our uncles are teaching us? What are we teaching the next generation? Let's think about that. And what William is saying is part of corruption. We bring foreigners now. We bring terrorists to the country to come and steal. And the local South Sudanese citizen, they don't know about that. We don't know who's in Sudan. We don't know who Ali is. Ali Khalil Maher. We don't know who he is until the sanctuary exposed him. So our today's topic is about corruption. I will let William. I will give William some time, few minutes to share his ideas about corruption, and then Mabor, you will come after William, and you will share ideas about corruption. So today's topic is about corruption. So William, go ahead.
Thank you, Juju. Yeah, corruption, as we defined it last time, we don't want to go there again. But today we're trying to talk about corruption in details. But let us, as Michael Jackson said, that uh, he loved history. History is like a mirror that reflect his image. So history, we should use it as a mirror to see where we come from and where are we now and where are we going. Yeah. So if we look back before this country, it's called now Southern Sudan. Traditionally, or our traditional society, do we have a corruption? I don't think so, because in our morality or our norms or our cultures, we are taught just to respect people, to respect your word. There is something we usually know in every tribe in Southern Sudan. We know is initiation. When, for example, in a Shuluk uh, kingdom, when a young man, for example, reach at the age of 18 years old, then there is initiation they have to do. So within this initiation, when you are initiated already, and then everything change. Everything change. The way you conduct yourself, the way you talk, the way you do things is changed already, because you are in a certain age now being recognized as a man in the community. So not only a man in the age, but a man in your morality, in your value, in your principle. So you don't lie, you don't do anything wrong, you don't cheat people. So is not in our culture, especially in the community where I come from. It's not there at all, the corruption. But corruption, I think, it come with the wrong establishment of what is called today is the government all over the world, not in only in Southern Sudan, but in Southern Sudan it become so insane. It's not is inhuman, you know. So what do corruption do to us as people? I think it destroyed democracy. Yeah, we can say it, where democracy came. Democracy, I think, is inhuman. In Africa, in every tribe in Southern Sudan, we have under the trees. These are our parliament, where people go there and debate about issues. So that is democracy. But it destroyed democracy because there is no more of freedom to express ourselves, and also destroyed livelihood. And livelihood here, let us look at it. Who care about money in a bank in Southern Sudan? Imagine during the war, Southern Sudan went through before what we call a government today. You have Ottoman Empire, you have Arab, you have Mahdi's, you have Anglo-Egyptian, and you have a modern Sudan, which we separated from, you know. So nobody, no money. We just live in the villages. So livelihood to us there is water, and is land where we cultivate for our crops, and water where we drink, or where we water our gardens or something like that. And in the forest is where we go for hunting. That are the livelihood for our community for all these centuries, you know. So an attachment to the land itself, attachment to the land, water and land and the forest, that is a God-given thing. Because before God start creating human, God created land and the water first, and tell them that these are all for you. You have to subdue them. But no, those things, the land is being taken, the water is being taken, the forest is being destroyed. You know, those people who are cutting the trees, and the people now they have nothing. So it destroyed our livelihood for sure, and that is the dangerous one. You know, so and what it does, the corruption, it perpetuates the war. The war will continue. The war we are talking about today, it might not end, because the people who are just leading us in the war, they are very happy. They have their housing, and they don't want those opportunity to be lifting in from their hand. They don't want that, so they will continue promoting the war, because they are benefiting from this war. So it destroyed the peace, and it will not even encourage the peace, like the peace we are talking all the time here. Yeah. So corruption is so danger for us, and it destroy our relationship. Like now in Southern Sudan, just today you have a person kill in-laws. You know, you can just go over the media. Oh, a husband killed a wife, or a wife killed a husband, or uncle killed a uncle, and all. Do you think we have those things before? We don't have those things. But where did they come now? They come because of the corruption in Southern Sudan. The government did not come to take care of the people. So we have killing going on. You know, the family does not have anything. The family turn against each other. So our relationship is also attacked because of this corruption. We are losing morality here. Yeah. So I think if will have a chance, I will add more. But this is what I can add for now, Zuzi. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Mr. William, for your input. I would like to take this time to welcome Mr. Author to the team. Welcome. It's good
Thank you.
to have you. Yeah, welcome. And I will give you some time after Mabor, because today we are continuing our topic about corruption. Uh, like, I just want to say that South Sudan became one of the worst countries in the world in corruption. Um, it's good, like I said, that John Pendergast and George Clooney came with the Sanctuary Report to to expose, with the enough project to expose the corruption in South Sudan, because we've been talking about that. There's we know, we all as South Sudanese, we know that our country is being corrupt, and our leaders, our South Sudan leaders, they use chaos, they use war, so to loot the billions of our dollars to enrich themselves. They create war so that the poor citizen can run. They create displacement. People leave the country. People live in UNIMIS camps, and the poor civil servant doesn't get his salary. We hear stories, people don't get paid salaries after, people get paid after 7 to 8 months. They keep you hungry, they make you poor, they rape your women, they kill people, they intimidate, and they burn people so that you don't speak, while they are looting the resources. They're embezzling the funds of the government. They are enriching themselves with the oil money, with the gold money from the mining in eastern Equatoria. You know, the oil money from Upper Nile. And they create war, they create chaos, and they keep on doing keeping people with war and war after war. They don't provide basic services to the poor citizen. Not water, not clean. There's no clean water. There's no health services. There's no good education. And these are the elites, because they become so rich, they send their families to study and educate them outside the country. In Uganda, they buy houses, they send the kids to Uganda, Nairobi. Even in the first world, they send the kids to study here. I like a report that came from the UK 2 days ago, that the UK had set sanction on South Sudan. So anybody that is South Sudanese government or minister, if you're in UK, they have sanctioned 22 people. So one of them is a one-known business man from Sudan, Al Cardinal. I think most of us have heard about him. He's like the fugitive Ali Khalil too. So Al Cardinal is one of the person that does deals with the government of South Sudan in selling weapons from Russia and delivering weapons to South Sudan. He's been sanctioned. His real name is Ashraf Said Ahmed Hussein, but they call him Al Cardinal. He's one of the corrupt people in the whole world. I'm happy that to hear that the UK and the US now have sanctioned him, and the 22 government officials from South Sudan. Their assets will be frozen, their money, their houses, their family, if they send money to their families, and if they buy houses in Europe, in the UK, they will be all taken. And South Sudan need to be like that. They need to. That's why we said we need change. We need regime change. People like that in ministers or people that embezzle government resources need to be taken to the court of law. That's why we encourage peace. We want the parliament to be formed. We want the security arrangement to be done, the legislative to be formed, and so that they will be charged for that. So with that being said, I'll give chance to Mr. Mabor to give his opinion about corruption in South Sudan. Then after Mr. Mabor, it will be William, Mr. Otho. And Mabor, before you come, I wanted to say this. I want to welcome Hassan Tag, James Choll, Abel Kon, and John Modi. And you guys are welcome, John Modi. You say that South Sudan is not a nation yet, but we know that South Sudan is a nation. It's only the corruption and the elites that are enriching themselves. You need to admit that we are a nation. Although there's so many problems there, we are still South Sudanese. We become a nation. So if you think it's not a nation yet, it's your opinion. I respect that. You can come and share with us and educate us on that too. And Hassan said that the elites undermine the negative impacts of corruption. That's true. We talked about the elites before. And Hassan, you're welcome too. You can join us and share your opinion too. The Nile Nation Network is for all of us. We come, we share opinions, We respect that. Mr. Mabor, you're welcome. Go ahead.
Yes, thank you, Jojo. Really, indeed, I always said that even the team of this team who try to investigate the corruption itself, they are all corrupt because they are the first people who was there in the beginning. And after they know that the country is in chaos, they try to pull themselves out from this corruption. The Joyce, I follow them up in the beginning. I know that they were involved because they were two friends to president, but because they were caught in the red handle, so that's why they just try to back themselves up. And now they try to come up with a thing that they don't even do the really actual investigation in full. So come to this, corruption is real in South Sudan, and even last 3 weeks, the president appointed group. The president appointed a group to go and do investigation on the some sector, especially oil department and and uh, and the finance. But what happened? What happened on that report last week? So what do the president is going to do about it after he received that report? The report punched him back. His presidential office is in that corruption. The finance office is in that corruption. The oil department that they were thinking maybe they could got caught red-handed, so maybe they can have a point that to kneel the minister of, of oil to scratch his back, but they poured nothing. And now thing went back to his office, and I don't know what he's going to do with it. That thing alone is the big corruption. If he is going to be silent after he's seen all this situation, that hunting his office and hunting the finance office, that thing automatically is going to hunt him. That's the big issue here. Come to others. Let South Sudanese know that a regime change and reform itself is a regime change. If people talk about reform, it's a regime change itself because it can get any single person who doing a mess in the country, doing a corruption. It can be caught and nail them into jail. That's a regime change itself. If you take up the person who doing the mess, you already done a regime change. But do the president will allow that reform? It took us 2 years now, and that's the corruption itself. If he's not doing action for what he said that we will be doing the reform. So what is going to happen? Now it is starting in his office. Last 3 weeks ago, he fired the ministers and bring the one who done the corruption before that he fired because of corruption. Marial Benjamin was being fired in the Minister of Foreign Affairs because of corruption, and now he brought him back in his office. So that thing is a corruption itself. Okay? And Mayik, which is the former minister of the office, he was involved in this corruption. Not only that alone, we have heroes of heroes. When our heroes of Anyanya 1 and Anyanya 2, SPLM, and the current government falls, okay? Look at that corruption. When it falls, if they have a crisis, with the president, no condolences, neither a flag bearer of lower down the flag for the country with the respect of that person. But if the foreigners fall, people have to cry, including the president, and they have to lower down the flag and do the mourning for 3 days mourning. That thing alone is a corruption. If people doesn't know, it's a corruption in the mind. It's corruption because the corruption comes through anything that coming. Let's say, example, we are 4 of us here. If it was happened to not involving others team, if we just decided to be only 4 of us, it's a corruption itself. If it is something that we just decide to do this, that if people they're not affected not to come in by themselves and they just want us doing this alone without their own initiative, it's a corruption itself. So what do you think corruption come from? And corruption is the same. Anything that is done wrong is a corruption. So I go so far. I will be back. But if people want to come in, we already put the link down. So the link already done. If you want to come in, join us.
Thank you, Mabor. Thank you for your
thank
time.
You. I will appreciate it.
Thank you for your time, Mabor. I agree with you that the problem is the president, because if you are the head of the family and you're corrupt, your wife will be corrupt, the kids are corrupted, you're the one that will settle that. But if you're the thief, you're the head of the thief, how can you change? What Abel Khan is saying here, that regime change cannot be, we should not call for a regime change and at the same time call for security arrangement and formation of parliament. Abel Khan, let me answer you. It's my personal opinion, if we're calling for security arrangement and the government is not doing anything, we are waiting for the formation of the parliament and the government is not doing anything. So it means that, and deep down we know that the government of Salva Kiir is not willing to implement the peace agreement. We know it. How long is it going to take him to form the government? We have been singing about security arrangement. For how long are we going to wait? So otherwise, if he's not willing to form the assembly, if not willing to do the security arrangement, okay. We know that our forces are in the containment areas. They are suffering. People are dying. They are starving. Already they've ate the money because of corruption. There's no medication. It's pandemic. They said that women are giving birth over there, and there's no healthcare services. And if you heard, the minister was saying, Michael McCoy is saying that if they know that they're pregnant, why they go to the containment areas? They got pregnant over there, So I know you're a government supporter. You want to support by all means. But if the government is not willing to implement the peace in letter and spirit, we call for regime change. This is the only way. We need the government of Salva Kiir to be changed. So don't come here and say, you Joyce, you cannot call for Jojo, you cannot call for two. If Abelcon, you want to share your opinion, please, you're welcome. The link has been dropped. You can come and share your opinion with us. Chelsea Bedal, I want to welcome you. You can come share your opinion too. Jungle Bantu, you're welcome to the show. You can come and share your opinion. With that being said, Mr. Otho, it's your time. I'll give you like 10 minutes, maybe. You can speak as much as you can, because I know you join us a little bit late, but you have your time, okay? Thank you, Mr. Otho. Yeah.
Thank you. Okay, thank you, the Nile Nation viewer and Nile Nation network panel. I think we are still continue with our topic, which is the corruption in Southern Sudan, and all know that. So when we talk about the corruption, it's something really touch everybody, because that's what destroy our country. Before I go ahead, I just want to highlight what the point I'm going to talk about. I'm going to talk about the corruption based on statistics, because these days Southern Sudan is being put in the Google. So everything they do in Southern Sudan, we are going to see it. So we have a statistic. So if government in Juba, they don't want really corruption to continue, they're supposed to bring the peace and give the power to the people. People, they know who is honest and who is not honest. As we know, the value of custom we have in our tribes, they are really very, very, very good to rate anybody. Wherever you do, people, they know they can trust you. Before I go ahead, I just want to give you highlights. As I said, it's going to be a statistic. I'm not going to do anything from wherever it's not connected to Southern Sudan. Let me be clear. If government in Juba want really to stop the corruption and to stop everything, even including war, let them stop the war first. And let we implement the peace agreement we have. We don't need to get international community to be involved in our issue. That's why we have a peace now. According to a statistic I have here, it's showing that, after 2014, start from 2013 to 14. In 2014, the corruption was down a little bit, because at that time, people that still, the war didn't go like make a lot of damages, and everything is still under control. But when we come to 2014, according to statistics, 2013, our rate was, corruption in Southern Sudan was rated in 14%, which is mean went high a little bit, but it still can be controlled. So when you come to 2014, because there is a war between the IO and government at that time, the corruption went up more, went to 15%, which is mean when we have a war, I think a lot of people, they are looting everything, including money, position, land, all those things. And that's why when the international community evaluate all of this, they find out at the time when the SPLA-IO is not in Juba, everything went up, corruption went up. That's the statistic. So when they signed the peace in 2015, and the opposition went to Juba in 2016, the corruption went down. The rate of corruption went down from 15 to 11. So from that time, when they went back to war again, the corruption went up from 11 to 12. So what is showing us the statistic, according to Shad I have in front of me here, is that wherever we go to war, everything go high. Corruption go high in administrative, political, and the other area. That's what is showing us now.
Otho, can you unmute yourself? Yeah, there.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah, so corruption went up. So that means if we really care about the people of Southern Sudan, المفروض نمشي على السلام الموجود حاليا، لأنه بختم حاجات كتير. الناس اللي بعملوا الفساد هم بخافوا شوية، ما كده بس، لكن لو قدرنا نجيب النظام في محله وقدرنا ندي بوليس والناس بتاعت وزارة العدل أو محكمة بتاعت جنوب السودان فرص على أساس يطبقوا القوانين الموجود، أنا متأكد حاجات كتير هيجيف. وعشان كده international community that are monitoring wherever we do in Southern Sudan, they know who is doing this. Even if you look at the president now, he don't go any other country because he know what he's going to face there. Media is not going to let him be alone, and not only that, but he will be asked the question, he will not be able to answer it, and that's why he's trying to avoid everything, you know. So corruption in Southern Sudan is real, and statistic is showing us everything. Let me come to the market, there is a corruption. When you come to the labor, there is a corruption. When you come to even Minister of Health, there is a corruption there. The vaccine now is given to certain people, and certain people that are not getting it. Even they are dying in the hospital, you know. Everything in Southern Sudan, we really need the peace. Let we stick with the peace we have now. So even the trade, like a tijara, بتاعت بين جنوب السودان مع الدول المجاور كان فيه corruption، والجماعة اللي عملوا ريد بتاعه كمان. So في مشكلة كبير أكبر من الاسم ده، من الوضع اللي نحن قاعدين فيه في جنوب السودان حاليا. والناسنا لو هم ما فتحوا عيونهم وقدرنا نتوحد ونقول كلمة واحدة للحكومة إن على أساس لازم نعمل تغيير، أنا متأكد جنوب السودان ده هيخش في الزبالة أكتر من كده. وده حاجة نحن ما في أي واحد بتمنى يحصل حاجة زي ده، لأن الشعب بتاعنا ده فعلا ده المساكين، هم دايرين بس حياة البسيطة، يمشي يزرعوا ويكون قاعد في المحل بتاعه، بس أهم حاجة يكون في سكيورتي، ما يجي عسكري أو ميليشيا زي الميليشيات الموجود في الملكات هسه حاليا قاعد يعمل إرهاب للناس على أساس يمشي يشيلوا لك يعني إيش ده أنت بتجيبه بس بتاع اليوم داير يشيلوا منك، ده أكتر من اللازم. والمهم حاجة داير نقول لشعب جنوب السودان، اتفاق السلام الموجود ده نضغط على الحكومة خليه ينفذ البنود بتاعه كويس. وكل ما معارضة بقي في داخل الجوبة ما في أي معارضة برا، كل ما الاقتصاد بتاعنا قاعد يمشي قدام شوية، وكل ما الكوربشن قاعد يقل. الكوربشن الموجود في المالية وفي السوق وفي محلات ده تاني ممكن يعملوا كنترول لو قوانين طبق أصلا، لكن ما في طريقة الناس يطبقوا القوانين الموجود. قوانين هو فعلا هم قوانين صارم، لكن ما بتطبق ليه؟ لأنه أساسا ناسنا في المحلات بتاع اتخاذ القرارات بقول القانون ما يتطبق. ده أكبر حاجة بس الموجود عندنا في جنوب السودان، وفي نفس الوقت هم بتمنى يكون عندهم عمر أكتر عشان يستمروا في السلطة اللي هم موجودين فيه ده. واحد يجي نازل من العربية هو عمل نفسه كان يعني واحد مهم، وفي نفس الوقت الشعب بتاعه قاعد يموت. لما يجي في الشارع ذاته قاعد يشوف ناس، في ناس ميتين او في ناس واقعين في طرف الشارع، في جزء بيبيع في حاجات بتاعهم، لكن في الاخر لسه ما بنصر بمنظور زين يجيب الحل. فالمهم حاجه دايرين نقول شنو، شعب جنوب السودان فعلا هو مساكين، لكن لو هو ما قمت فوق وحاجته وقلت كلمه للرئيس الموجود هنا على اساس الكوربشن الموجود في جنوب السودان يجيب حاجه دي ما بجيبه بضرنا اكثر. فعشان كده القوات بتاعنا هنا مش على اساس دايرين عشان يشوفونا في العالم، لا، عندنا حاجه دايرين نوصلوا لكم. unity بتاعنا يا بيساعد على تغيير في البلد بتاعنا ونحن فعلا دايرين تغيير يحصل لانه اذا كان اتفاق السلام هسه ماشي 3 سنه ما قادرين يجيبوا اللجنه الدستوريه عشان يعدل الدستور وفي نفس الوقت ما قادرين ينظموا الجيش وهي واحد لسه بيعمل فوضى بتاعه وهم بيشجعوا في ميليشيات على اساس يعمل خرابه ويعمل ارهاب للمواطن البسيط ده كل الاشياء ده حاصل في جنوب السودان وده حاجه مؤسف شديد فالمهم واحد داير يجي فيني ولو فرصه جاء مره جايه كمان انا بتكلم في كوربشن في حاجات ثانيه شكرا جوجو and panel الموجودين هنا
شكرا أستاذ Otho. I know it's a hard topic, you know. Some people get really offended, but telling the truth, there's nothing like the truth, you know. We want people to come up and share their opinions. And I see Abel Con saying there's corruption within SPLA-IO and others opposition. Abel Con is your opinion. I know you will try to justify the president. It's just a shame if we are supporting the president and we know that the president is the first corrupt person, like I said before. We are sitting here talking about corruption, and I feel bad that you and other people that are supporting the government are still I think you're not even getting anything, you know. The government, like I said, is enriching himself and his daughter that is under 20 or almost over 20 years, and you sitting here supporting because you are Dinka and the president comes from your tribe and you're supporting him. This is what we call tribalism, you know. If I'm an Equatorian and Waniga is corrupt, I say Waniga is corrupt. Elia Lomora is corrupt, you know. So I will not sit here because they are my countrymen and I will support them. You know, I feel bad that we are in diaspora, but we still act with that mentality from back home, you know. So I just want us to go back to our topic about corruption. You know, corruption. There's so many, like we said, there's so many types of corruption. There's political corruption, embezzlement, theft and fraud, extortion and blackmail. You know, those are the systematic types. Those are the types of corruption. When we talk about political corruption, we talked about systematic corruption too. How the government is embezzling funds, and they design CEOs. Now it's sad that we know that even a fugitive, somebody that's a terrorist, you know, they're given a citizenship to become a South Sudanese. I remember when I went to, I'll tell you guys a story, a short story. I went to Sudan and I wanted to get a passport. So to take a passport, because my uncle is not in the government, I don't have any uncle that is a minister, I'm not a Denka, you know, I have to hustle in the line just to get the passport. But people that are like someone, a fugitive from Lebanon, from Lebanese, sorry, Lubnani, he was a fugitive, he's a terrorist from Paraguay. He's wanted. They took him, you know, how he get to South Sudan? Because somebody in the government took him to South Sudan. He got a flight from Paraguay, from South America, all the way to Juba. He's owning, he became they gave him a citizen. He became a citizen, South Sudanese citizen, and he's owning businesses. Even he's having business with the daughter of Salva Kiir, you know. So how can a terrorist do that? He killed people. Like you heard what Mr. William was saying in the news. He's a wanted guy. They changed his name. He became a South Sudanese uh, citizen. They call him honorary too. They call him Beng, you know. They respect him. He owns businesses, mining, and the poor South Sudanese person is suffering, you know. And me being a South Sudanese, I cannot get a passport in a day like this, you know. I have to wait in the line and all that. But people are being given, they will ask you, what Payam are you from? Do you speak your language? Where's your father from? How come this guy get a South Sudanese citizenship? You know, these are all due to corruption. It's good that, that's why I said it's good when Otho said there's reports. That's why I said the Century report has exposed all the fugitives, all the terrorists, you know. And this guy has been sponsored by Daesh, by Bin Laden, you know. How come he ended up in South Sudan? And there's 22 people with him. That's why I said that it's 22 people, South Sudanese in the government, 22 government officials. And it's good that they named that the daughter of Salva Kiir is with him in business too. So we need to get rid of that. People like Abel Khan coming here telling us about corruption. Are you like, I should ask you, Abel Khan, even, are you corrupt? You know, because if you're supporting corruption, it means that you're corrupted too. You know? So with that being said, I'll give chance to Mr. William. William, you can.
Yeah, thank you, Juju. Just to add on something you just mentioned, I know other people, they don't know the word shame. Shame. Other people, they don't know that, and I think Brother Akon is one of them. To be honest, because what we're talking is real, and you cannot deny it in the face of the reality. The world today is calling for reconciliation, whether in South Africa or in Rwanda or in Canada, where Abel Kone himself is living. We have First
It's
Nation
in
again.
Canada.
Yeah, we have been mentioning First Nation, and we mean it when we mention it. But to Abel Kone, it doesn't mean anything to him. When we said the Truth and Reconciliation Commissions is working throughout the world, and we see people like our prime minister before the Steve, he says sorry to the First Nation, including the current prime ministers. And there are many concessions being done in order for people to move forward. But for somebody like Abel Kone, who was not raised with the value we're talking about, that you have to be ashamed, as I mentioned in the beginning, when the initiation, whether in Denka, when you're being initiated, you are being prepared for morality. You have to stand up to be a moral human. And that are a universal principle God already enshrined in our hearts. But it looked to him and Salva Kiir and those like him is nothing. Let me read something here just to remind you how the word "ashamed" to other people can be interpreted in different way. The former president of South Korea, by name Roy Moy-Yoon, he served between 2003 and 2008, I think 5 years. Not like what Salva Kiir is doing now, decades. So Roy, what happened? He was found later on with a head injury. He went to the mountain and threw himself down from the mountain and then to kill himself because there was an investigation. He has been accused that when he was a president, not as a president, not a sitting president, when he was a president, he was accused of taking a bribery. Taking a bribery, 6 million. No, there is different bribery because we're talking about the type of corruption. A bribery is the way somebody said, okay, I have a company. Why don't you give me the contract? And I know that contract will make me to generate billion of dollars. So if I buy the president to give me the contracts, I will make a lot of money out of these 6 million. So the guy, for which reason he took 6 million, and now being investigated. Look what he said here. I am in debt to too many people. The note read, he left the note when he died. Too many people have suffered because of me. I cannot imagine the suffering they will go through in future. So can you imagine Abel Khan? We're not even asking Salva Kiir to kill himself. Salva Kiir has eaten the money of Southern Sudan from his feet up to his ears. And he has killed as much as he can. He have taken land. He have destroyed everything. Not 6 million. This guy, this gentleman, is saying I cause suffering in people. That is because of 6 million and because of disappointing his supporter like you, Abel. So he killed himself. One of the guy I can mention is Hitler of Germany. When he lose the war, he committed suicide because there are many Germans who died on his watch and he lose the war. That is the man. That is the dignity. That is how we can prove that we are human. We are image of God. When we come to our conscience and then we say something wrong here, I committed. But for you and your president is like a business as usual. That is shame. And you live in Canada here, and we're talking about the truth. So you saying that the IO there is corruption. Yes, there is a corruption in IO, but we're talking about the government. If we are talking about a party, okay, but we're talking about a government. And when you take the leadership, you are the one to be blamed, as this guy went and killed himself. So we don't ask Salva Kiir, brother, to kill himself. We just asking a regime change. And Mabor mentioned it in the beginning that regime change, when there is a reform, that is a change. When Dr. John Garang came and they signed the peace agreement with Northern Sudan, it wasn't a regime change. Omar has killed many people in Southern Sudan, but it was a change, transformation. Osman, he resigned, and then his position was taken by Dr. John Garang. That is a change. So when the security arrangement is being implemented and the parliament is being reformed and everything, and then we all change ourselves. But he's not asking Salva Kiir go, but change, because he's part of the change. So what is the wrong leadership is over. We are now having a new system that accommodated all of us, and then we move forward together. But now you're saying that, brother, you're saying that he will not go until the election. Yes, I know the power corrupt, until it is too late, like Umar Bashir. Nobody can take it because he have the power, you have a Kolkur, you have everybody. But looking at those power, it makes him not to think as human. But until it is too late. And we don't want to be there too late. Southern Sudan has a place to take all of us. As Garang said, there is many room for all people. This peace, when we sign it, it has been won by blood. So we all have to honor it in order to for Southern Sudan to accommodate everybody. But the way we are still looking at it now, like I don't do any concession. I still have power. I still have power. You never know what could happen. Where is Omar Bashir? You didn't even dream about that. It was just a woman, female, singing and dancing in Khartoum to move Omar Bashir. And even Hamira كان بتكلم في السوشيال media, is now in Juba. She went to Northern Sudan and become part of this movement. And Jeje Bogolu rapid forces, they brought them, and many people, over 400 people has been killed and thrown in the water in order to protect the system. But the people of Sudan, they said no, until Bashir find himself in cover now. The same thing in Chad, everywhere. Is this what we are waiting? This is the election you are waiting for? We don't encourage that. We're talking as mature people, responsible people, concerned citizens of Southern Sudan who want the good welfare for this young nation. But not coming here and then faking ourselves and defending ourselves. I think that attitude should change. We have to be real people. This is what I can say. And in terms of reshuffling, what is going on now? Imagine how idiot we become. Even we have to use the magician. Nyaldeng he want to buy a magic using over $2 million. Look at this corruption. I don't know where Nyaldeng is from, Southern Sudan. But Nyaldeng has a constituency. Like Abel, you have a constituency, maybe Baliot. How can you represent the people of Baliot if you are just trying to buy the power by magic? Where in the world? Might you go to these people? You listen to them, what they are saying. They will tell us this is what we want for Baliot. We want a school, we want hospital, we want this one, we want blah, 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 name them. If you fight for us, we fight for you. We vote for you. That is the real magic. But the Mazin, if Nyaldeng is from Rumbek, is it the voice of the Rumbek people now? Is the voice of the magic, Shaitan. And this is you guys, this is how we rule Southern Sudan. This is how the hunger of God will come upon us. If not now, it will come one time. And whoever die defending the truth, that person will die with the honor and will be in the heaven. But those who are just defending for the money or trying to buy the magic power, they will die both. And that is the truth. You know, in Canada here, many statues are being removed. That is a second death. So reshuffling is not need in Southern Sudan, but the corruption continue. Why do you reshuffle? The agreement is very clear. It has given Salva Kiir a certain number of power, and it has given IO a certain number of power until the election time come. And election time, you are saying now, we will not be scared about the election because we know already we provide service to people during the interim period. And people will know they will vote for us. But because we don't do anything, of course, the election will not do anything. We have to go to the magazine to buy, or we have to change. Why should you change? If the person is already corrupt, is incompetent, is unable, you retire him, fire him. He's not a right place, a right person in the right place. What I is William, if I am in a Ministry of Health and I did nothing, and then the reshuffle come and I'm being moved now to security or national security. It's the same William. What caused me to fail in that ministry will cause me to fail here. So the President Salva Kiir, he's I don't know who الشيطان من شخصيته. لأنه أفكاره كله شرير. He don't eat, he go to church. He's supposed to think what is good. He went to the Pope, and that is a curse on him. What Jesus did to his disciple, Pope did it to Salva Kiir and Riek Machar and everybody who went there. Nyadang. Do they understand what was it? When Peter said, "No, Lord, I cannot," and Jesus said, "Unless you are not with us, if you have to be with us, you have to sit down." And he accepted, even saying, "With all my head, not my feet only." And then he said, "Do you understand what I did to you?" "Yes." "And you call me God, God, God." "Yes. But now I have kneeled before you, wash your feet and kiss them. Go do the same thing. Humble yourself, be honest, do what you have seen I'm doing." Now they went to Vatican, and this old man, Pope, even he cannot sit down, he cannot stand up. But because of peace, that people of Southern Sudan deserve peace, he blessed them, so they will go home with new heart. But the time they left Vatican, they already turned to become a normal evils. Because they were not ignorant. If they were ignorant, they could have been healed. Because God himself has been looking for the people who are ignorant. And that is why he confronted Paul when he was persecuting the Christian. Jesus know that this man, he don't understand what he's doing. He's hungry for knowledge. He just need to know the way, and he will do my work. The same thing he did to the to the prostitute. He said, "You have go tell your 5 husbands." And the woman said, "No, I don't have a husband." He said, "No, you have 5." So God, Jesus know that this woman is the one who will go and spread the news. She's a wrong person because she don't understand. So Salva Kiir was not ignorancy. He's himself evil. Because if he is ignorancy, he should have been transformed by what you have seen in Vatican. But nothing changed with him. And that's why they're sending people. Del dol anin der na ichi foko yake. Der in roba holat na fiya. And then we don't want to allow ourselves to talk about the truth. We need to correct ourselves. We need to feel serious about ourselves. It's not because of Danka guy or Shilu guy or whoever. No, it's about the truth. I yell back, Juju.
Thank you, Mr. William. I know when it comes to when we talk about things of our country, it really hurts us, And some people just take it like a joke because they know that they are gaining from the government in one way or another. But our people are dying. We have relatives down there that are dying, innocent people. Our countrymen are dying. I see a comment here from Michael Author saying that it's been more than 20 years that the environmental pollution in the oil companies like Faluj and Malut oil fields in Upper Nile State. Children are dying, pregnant women are dying, elderly are dying from the pollution from the oil companies. It's because that the government doesn't care about the oil waste. They don't care about it. All they care, they just drain the oil, and when the money comes, they eat the money. They never cared about the people of Upper Nile. Uh, uh, I was laughing when you said that Abel Kon is in Canada. I didn't know that he's in Canada. We are from Alberta. We are from the rich oil nation in North America, and we know how it is. They take care of the waste because in Canada they don't joke about it, and you cannot be corrupt. And I'm just sorry that when we in diaspora, like we are in a country like Canada, it's well developed, and there's no corruption and stuff like that. And we as South Sudanese, not Canada alone, all of us in diaspora, we are enjoying the privileges of the countries that we are in, but we forgot about our poor people that are suffering back home. You know, Abel Con is enjoying Canada, enjoying government money. The oil money in Canada is enjoying it, but he never cared about the poor people in South Sudan. Now he's talking about election. If the legislative assembly is not formed, how can election be? We need to form the parliament first. We need security in the country so that the election can be fair. You know, how many elections? How come even the president is not a legitimate president? Salva Kiir is not legitimate. You're talking about election. What election? Who elected Salva Kiir to be a president? First of all, his term is expired, and to check the record, when we say Salva Kiir is a president, to me he's not, because they made a conspiracy. I don't know why our tribesmen from Denka, they don't like to talk about it. They made a conspiracy to kill Gereng. Who killed John Gereng? It's him and Museveni, and they don't like to mention that. And Salva Kiir was being put there temporary because Dr. John Gereng has died in a plane crash. So he was there for limited time, and then election was supposed to take place, which election they just faked an election, and they said he's the president. And now how long has Salva been as a president? 15 years, and you're still supporting him? What I just want to comment one last thing that I want my brother Abel Kon to go with. After Salva Kiir goes, what do you think? Where will you be? Where will the Dinka people be? You guys been killing people all this time. You guys grabbing people's land. You guys are intimidating people because you're in power. You know, when people are in power, they misuse the power. But after you lose the power, where are you gonna be? In South Sudan? This 64 plus tribe, the last time I checked, they hated you guys up to now. You know, because of the things that you guys are doing to the people, and you're still supporting that government. You know, when people say, oh, there's some innocent Denka, I felt bad because the innocent Denka, either they kept quiet when other tribes are being killed, or they are supporting, they're eating and they're keeping quiet, you know? If one person got killed, if a Dinka person got killed, I always say that, I will be, because it's a South Sudanese, I'll talk about it. But if Equatorial got killed, I cannot be up clapping for them, you know? So this is what you guys are doing, you know? And the hatred and the tribalism that you guys brought, or the government of Salva Kiir planted into South Sudanese, is not gonna go far, you know? That's why some people don't people in Equatoria, most people in Equatoria, they don't want you guys in Equatoria land. But we still want to coexist. We still want to accommodate you, Abelcon, in Equatoria land. But the way you are behaving, I'm gonna say no, you know? I will say people like Abelcon should not stay in Equatorial land, you know? So we need to change. We need to change the way we speak sometimes. It portrays us as leaders, you know? Like everybody's saying here, the way you grow up, discipline, you know? Discipline yourself. Now you're saying I don't support the corruption. If you're supporting Salva Kiir and he's the father of corruption, it means you're supporting corruption. So I don't want to dwell more on his comments and all that. Let us think about the suffering of our people, you know. Let us keep on dialogue. Let us talk. Nobody will intimidate us, you know. We'll always come. We will talk about corruption. And if you agree with us, fine. If you don't agree with us, we're moving forward. But there's records, there's reports. It's not like the 21 years ago when people were fighting in the bush. Now there's technology. The StreamYard, we are using it. Everybody is watching us from all over the world. People take pictures. There's records. There's Hyper Court now. People will be judged one day. Even your conscience, you know. I like what Mr. William talked about when he talked about religion, you know. I know we South Sudanese, some of us, we lost our religion already, but your conscience will not leave you to sleep. I like when the Kenyan guy interviewed the president after the 2016 incident. He asked Salva Kiir that, when you go to bed, what do you think? Do you think about that hungry child that is sitting out there hungry? He paused a little bit and he said, yeah, I think about the hungry person. If you think about the hungry person and people don't like you, think about a hungry child and people don't like you as a president, resign. Make way for other people to lead. You have misled the country. You have no vision. You've been killing people all this time, you know, and the people are tired. How can you be a president and some people are living in the UN camp? You know, there's no freedom for other people. There's no security in the country. There's no peace in the country. And you're the number one hater. You don't want peace. You don't want people to live in peace because you don't care. You don't care about the people of South Sudan. You know, that's why I like to say that presidents comes and go. They come and leave, but the country will stay. Today will be Salva Kiir. Tomorrow will be somebody else, you know? And I don't know, our people in South Sudan, they don't retire, you know? 75-year-old, it's still a minister. You know, they should be in a dementia group home somewhere. They need to retire, you know. Let young people lead the country. They have good ideas. They can bring peace to our country. They can develop our country. There's no roads, like I said. Basic need. Provide people water, clean water. The River Nile is there, you know. Bring clean water to people. Bring health services. I know there's so many doctors. There's so many physicians in South Sudan. But there's no equipment. Provide equipment. Provide education. There's so many teachers in South Sudan. But because you guys don't care, your kids are outside, you know. But all this blood money, it will follow you. It will follow you. You'll never rest, you know. As we read in the book wrote by Nicholas Collen, the ambassador, the former ambassador, the Canadian former ambassador. I encourage everybody to read that book. The title is The Collapsed Country. He mentioned that Salva Kiir is a paranoia president. He's crazy. He just wakes up and say, oh, tomorrow I want to reshuffle. He reshuffled the whole cabinet. We think that we have a president. He's not a president, you know. It's somebody crazy in mind. And all his advisors around him, they're crazy too. So it's about time. It's 2021. We need to rest, you know. We need peace. So I want to give anybody a chance, Arthur or Mabor, if you want some time, you can go ahead. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Yes, I'm not going to dwell very much on the issues. It's like my brothers Abel Kon mentioned something, and also to our brothers Michael said something. Look, the situation that's going on in South Sudan is all our concern, whether you are in government or you are in opposition. The effects that is going on, it's not about any ethnic part only, it's all. Let's say example, what he's doing, he himself, Salva Kiir, what he's drawing is drawing the same to the people that are supporting him and facing the same situation. Why I say this? Michael say something and say, sooner than later, there shall be have no any human life or any animal life in Paluch and Maluk. Abel Kon, he's not attacking that people, or he's not attacking you. He's telling you, if you don't act now, the people that you think you are supporting, they will be finished. You live in the state of Alberta. You know what is the environment mean. I will quote something. I already sent it inside there. I sent something there inside. In Unity State, what happened last night? Our time last night, which is daytime in Africa. 8 cows from one person in Rukon area died on the spot. 8 cows. What killed those cows is the pollution. They went and drink water on those oil remains that have been just through to every corner that they put them. And those cows went and drink that water. And later, they all perished. To see that, you are Bill Cole, I'm not attacking you. Who you could be blaming? That's a question there. You have a question that is it by lower flag because of the foreigners who die, by lower flag for the South Sudan, for the foreigners who die from his country, is a corruption. My brothers, Abel Kun, if we are in the table, we are eating, I and you, and the food is too small, and I keep dipping my hand every 1 minute, and you eat it slowly. What is going to happen there? I already become crap. Right? I already become crap because I try to take and leave you anger. So that thing is a crap itself. So if Mr. President does not give condolences to his own friend who fight war with him in the bush because they have scratches for themselves, and go and give condolences to foreigners, what does that mean? It's a crap itself. So the president sees the foreigners are better than South Sudanese that he's leading. It's a crap itself. I don't know how do you can do a definition. I'm very glad that when you come, please come and give us the definition of corruption. And then we will come and hear from you. Yes, you said, oh yeah, Iowa is crap. We are not talking about your IG itself. We know very much so many things within IG that is a crap, but we cannot even talk about it because it's not our party. Or our party, who are we that also too? It's not my party that I think I should be voting for, or I think I should be supporting. I cannot even talk about their own issues as a party. And also too, SPLMIO, if they're crap as a party, as a person of media here, I have no intention to go and talk about their own affair within their party. So you have to make it clear and see here. But when it comes to overall, what called government, you are from IG, you are from Iowa, you are no party, you have right because that thing is your government. And who is leading that government? Is Salva Kiir himself. And you think it's not a corruption? My brothers, we want you to come and explain it to us. And my point, I will tell you here, what Michael said here on the comment here, you have to be very careful and look behind it. This oil, okay, the oil itself is kill people like a chronic disease. And I believe there was, I don't know, it might be true or it might be a makeup. I believe there was pictures was being circulated around on internet about the form children. And if it is true, it is already a start. And you think the government is not corrupt. Alberta, as we talk, in our state, in our country, by name Canada, I don't say Canada does not have any issue of the form human being that is born, but there must be 2, 3. It's because their environment, they take it seriously. What about your environment? It's not taken seriously by the person that you're supporting. And leaving your own relative into that chaos, and his time is passing. Even if you're supporting this president today and we say, okay, give him a 10 years, 30 years from now, we will not even talk about him within 30 years from today. I'm not predicting his age or his life, but this is something that is already. But the life of the people that are coming is what we are talking about, my brother. Don't see my back with an I and O and think, okay, it's an I and O he's carrying. I'm not carrying that cross. I'm carrying the cross of my people, that your own life of the people that born with you as an Abelkun is my people. And I believe if you think, okay, you are from Baliet or from Anadiar here, you don't have an effect. That's not right. This plotting that going on in our country is mixed up the world.
Mabur, correction. They are settler of Nagdir. You know the word settler, right?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah. So this water, they're flooding back when there's a flooding. And if that thing had been dumped somewhere, is still coming back. It will even affect that area. So my brothers, I'm not hating your president that you support, but I'm asking you that let's join and let it stop corruption. We are here to stop corruption. We are not here. Yes, you said something about regime change. Yes, regime change comes with what? If we do reform, that's a regime change itself. And I already gave that definition. It's a regime change itself. When you do the real reform.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Mabor. Otho, I'll give you your time if you want to come in. What Mr. William is saying. So, Abelkon, you have a problem. You are a resettler. You came to settle into other people's land. That's another problem, you know? And now there's another environmental pollution to your own people, which you don't even acknowledge. Because environmental pollution is like a pandemic. It doesn't say, oh, this guy is Apadang, it's not gonna affect them. It will affect everybody. So William, thank you for correcting that he's a resettler. He's not from from the area. He's claiming to be from there. So that's another issue too. So I hope we will come one time, Michael, to talk about the environmental effects, environmental pollution of oil in South Sudan. It will be a topic, then we will discuss about it, and I hope we will come and discuss in details about it. So, Mr. William, you're welcome. It's your time. Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, Juju.
He's
I
out,
think
yeah.
it's okay. It's good, William. You correct our brother Abel Kun is not from Anagdir, actually. He's from Balit. Anyway, Malakal, they have boundary. We don't want to talk about it now. It's not the thing we talk about. But to highlight this thing to all people of Southern Sudan. You know, there is a report here done by some group called themselves Risk and Complaint Quotient. And that one was powered by GN, called GAN, which is GAN. So in their report, they just mentioned some point. One, judiciary is corrupt. Two, policy in Southern Sudan is corrupt. Three, public service in Southern Sudan is corrupt. Four, land administration is corrupt. Five, tax administration is corrupt. Six, custom administration is corrupt. Seven, public perceiving is corrupt. Eight, national research is corrupt. Nine, legislation is corrupt. 10, civil society is corrupt. And 11, research, there is a corrupt. So I'm not going to talk about all of this because the report is there. Everybody can go online and try to search for it and read for yourself. What I'm trying to talk about is about the judiciary. You know, when South Sudanese asked about لو في مشكلة إنت ما قاعد تمشي محكمة ليه؟ فاللي قلت ثلاث أرباع بتاعهم أو 2/3 بتاع مواطنين بتاع جنوب السودان بقول القضايا بتاعهم قاعد يخلوه ما قاعد يمشي محكمة لأنه محكمة أصلا فيه corruption. So حسب الجماعة ديل هم بقول ده جزء من الحاجات اللي فعلا ما بشجع في جنوب السودان لأنه المواطن ما ممكن يمشي محكمة. ولو انت مشيت انت برجع بيدين 10 وانت بدفع اللوير قروش كتير وفي الاخر القضيه بتاعك ما بيشوفوا ذاته ما في عداله بعملوا لك. لو هم بيشوفوا محكمه جنوب السودان هم ما قادرين شنو يمشي عشان يرفعوا القضيه او لو انت مظلوم انت ما بقدر تمشي محكمه في جنوب السودان. اكثر من كده كمان الرجال الاعمال هم كمان عندهم مشاكل على اساس دايرين يمشي محكمه على اساس عشان يلقى حقوق بتاعه لكن محكمة ذات ما بنظر للاسم بتاعه. وديل الجماعة دي عملوا ريبورت على حسب الدستور بتاع جنوب السودان بتاع 2013 and 2015 المفروض محكمة ينظر للقضايا بتاع المواطنين على أساس شنو هم يقدروا يعرف حقوق بتاعه أو مثلا يحسوا على الأقل في عدالة قانونية لكل واحد عايش في جنوب السودان. لكن ما في محكمة أنت ما بلقى قضية ما بلقى حل المشكلة بتاعك. بنفس الكيفية رجال الأعمال هم كمان سألهم قال يا أخي هم اللي لقوا في المحكمة ذاته ما في حاجة اسمه الدستور بيطبق أو فريم ورك بتاع القاضي ذاته ما في. لأن مشيت هناك أنت بدفع أنت ببدأ من الباب لكن ما توصل قريب للكاتب بتاع المحكمة على أساس شنو هم يقدر يعمل لك إجراءات لكن إجراءات بس ورقة بكتبوا لك وبدوك الاسم بتاعه الرقم بتاعه لكن بيشوفوا القضيه بتاعه 200 ما معروف. ده حاجات فعلا قاعد يضر المواطن البسيط. ايمن ما مواطن بس لكن رجال الاعمال. عشان كده المره اللي فاتت ما تكلمت موضوع بتاع مثلا ان ما في حاجه بخليك انت تشعر ان في امان في جنوب السودان عشان تشيل قروشك من مال هم فيه لجنوب السودان ما في. لان لو انت مشيت هناك انت بكون ضحيه ساكت بتاع الحاجات اللي قاعد يعملوا لمواطن بتاع جنوب السودان. فعشان كده القواعد بتاعنا هنا وعلى حسب الجماعه اللي هم بيقولوا شنو ان الدستور بتاع جنوب السودان هو واضح لكن ما في تطبيق. قاضي ما عنده سلطه على اساس يقدر يقرر ان ده غلطان وده ما غلطان، لانه من انت تاخذ قرار في حاجات زي ده تلقى ذاته اللي انت ده تحكم عليه ده وراه واحد كمان عنده سلاح في يده، او تلقى واحد عنده اخوه في الجيش ولا في بوليس وبيجي بيخش في المحكمه ذاته برفع سلاح للقاضي ذاته. سو قضى في جنوب السودان ما عندهم اي اجراء القانوني بقدر يعملوه عشان يقدر ينقذوا الشعب الجنوب السودان. يوم نتكلم عن بوليسي كمان قال كوربشن اصله في بوليسي بتاع جنوب السودان منتشر بطال، شفت؟ ونتيجه لعدم الوجود القوانين او مثلا السلطات الموجود في الدوله ما قاعد يطبق القوانين، فخلى اي حاجه يكون بس فوضى. يعني مثلا على سبيل المثال يوم تمشي تشوف مثلا تعمل اي مشروع على اساس انت تستفيد براه، قبل ما تعمل المشروع ده هتخسر قروش بتاع الاجراءات بتاعه، وده كمان احتمال ينجح واحتمال يفشل. مش بتاع جنوب السودان انا شخصيا ما اقدر نتكلم في الاشياء الكثير ده، فعلا هم موجودين، ده الحاجه الحاصل بالضبط في جنوب السودان. نانو في مشكله، اذا ما دام نانو في مشكله وعندنا بعض الاحيان نقول قال في حكومه بقياده جنرال سلفكير، الشغل بتاعهم شنو طيب؟ هم ما قادرين مثلا يطبقوا القوانين وما قادرين يجيبوا سلام ولا قادرين يدي سلطه للناس ثانيين على اساس يمشي البلد ده، يا المساكين قاعدين يموتوا ساكت. فعشان كده يا جماعه مشكله بتاع جنوب السودان اكبر ولازم نتكلم فيه. لو انت عارف نفسك جنوبي تعال اتكلم في الموضوع ده، لان اساسا المشكله الموجود ده ما بيتحل بالسلاح زي ما نحن مؤمنين كلنا، بالسلاح ما دايرين اي حاجه بالسلاح. نقعد نتكلم بالمنطق ممكن نقنع البعض وبعد كده نمشي قدام، لكن مشكلتنا هسه عندنا الجنرال قدامنا سلفكير. طبعا عشان تمشي تتكلم ما لازم تكون جنرال او تكون فريق اول زي ما الجماعه بتاعنا يسموا انفسهم يومين ديل الفريق الاول، كويس؟ ده الاشياء الموجود في جنوب السودان. ففعلا المشكله بتاعنا اكبر من اللازم. لما تيجي تتكلم عن public service the same thing، اي مال تمشي فيه لازم تدي رشوه. انا اجيب لك مثل بسيط، لو انت تمشي تطلع الجواز بتاعك زي ما جوجو اتكلم قبل، فعلا جوجو عشان ما بعرف سر بتاع جنوب السودان، لو كان عارف سر وكان يمشي بس يشوف عسكري موجود هناك في اداره يديه حاجه ويدي اوراق ده بمشي جوبا بخلص حاجه ده في 5 دقيقه وحقه موجود في الجيب. فده الاشياء اللي حاصل في جنوب السودان حاليا. فيا جماعه مشكلتنا اكبر من اللازم. فالمهم
مستر
نهار ده
اوتو
ما داير نتطور
مستر اوتو ما قلنا نمشي بالنظام يعني جوجو كندية and foreigner we have to follow the line, we don't want to do any corruption you know.
يمكن تكون في كندا تابع حاجه اسمه الصف وفي اسمه ده ذاته في ماشين كده بتبان لك النمره بتاعك، ده ما فيه مشكله كده ذاته انت بوري هنا فعلا انت منظم. لكن هناك ده ما ده انت تجي في الشمي ده ولا عمرك كل يوم تموت ذاته ما في واحد بيجيب خبرك. فالمهم ده الاشياء اللي حاصل في جنوب السودان. فالمهم بلد بتاعنا يا جماعه محتاج نانو كلنا نعمل حاجه، بالذات الناس اللي برا عندكم ادوار كثيره، خلينا ننظم انفسنا وبعد كده نعمل بروبوزل بتاعنا يوم الحكومه ده يمشي. انا داير جنوب السودان من يوم الاول يكون في تغيير شامل، في تغيير في حاجات كثير، لانه اصلا نحن عارفين في حاجات نقدر نستفيد منه زي السيستم الموجود ده الساتلايت الموجود ده. نحن ما داير نعمل ساتلايت نمشي نعمل سيت اب للساتلايت بتاعنا، لكن لو اجرناه انا متاكد اي حاجه بمشي في جنوب السودان في الثانيه لو طبقنا القوانين الصح. والمهم مش بتاع كوربشن في جنوب السودان اكبر من اللازم، زي ما انا ذكرت في في 11 نقطه ريبورت اتكلم عنه على اساس في كوربشن بطال في جنوب السودان. فالمهم الموجود قدامنا نجيب خطه جديد لحل بتاعه، ما نكون زي فيران اللي كان مثلا بيشوفوا خطه كل مره لما نجي قال دايرين واحد يربط الجرس في رقبه قطه وما في اي واحد قادر يعمل حاجه. ده ما يكون قضيه نفس الوضع بتاعنا كجنوبيين، لازم يكون عندنا حل للمشكله الموجود. المشكله ده هو اصلا يعني بالنسبه لي انا لو حصل تغيير انا متاكد اي تغيير يحصل في اشياء كثيره بمشي قدام في البلد بتاعنا، ونحن فعلا قلوبنا على البلد. وربنا يجيب السلام الحقيقي، وبعد كده نخد الناس اللي بقدر يقودوا البلد بالامان واخلاص. وده المسج البسيط انا داير نقول لشعب جنوب السودان. شكرا.
شكرا Mr. Otho. Thank you, thank you. I think we're gonna come to our last words. Our concern, like you said, our concern is for the country. Yani gulubna lil balad, you know, our heart are with the country. We are happy we're living here, but what about our people that are suffering? What about our people that are not getting jobs? Yani corruption, due to corruption. What about our people that cannot speak out? With being members of the Nile Nation Network, we are here to speak for our people, for innocent people that cannot speak, the voices that cannot be heard. We are here to represent them. Like we said, we are not experts. We are here to learn. We are here to educate. We are here to speak the truth. Nothing but the truth. Because all of us, most of us, did not grow up in just like that, you know. We have discipline in the families where we come from. We speak the truth. We have religion. We are faithful people. We fear to kill. We fear to steal. We fear to take somebody property, you know. We need to keep that up, and we need to educate our people. We need to speak out. um, our topic, like we said, today is the continuation of corruption in details. We have to come to the end of our show. If anybody has, Mr. William, last remarks, if no one is, we don't have anybody that wants to share from the audience, we will give our last remarks and then we will close the show for today. Mr. William, you're welcome. Your 5 minutes for last remarks.
Okay, thank you, Juju. Yeah, we don't want to be diverted from the topic today, as Abel Kohn is trying to do, but he's good. He is becoming, because sometimes if we في برنامج في الجزيرة بقول اتجاه محكس مع دكتور فيصل. Diamond is good when you have two opposite sides, but here we are just a citizen of Southern Sudanese talking in one language all. But Abel Kohn is imposing himself as واحد من تجاه المعاكس, which is good. It will make us to generate more talk, you know. So so yeah, so what I just, before I give my remark, I want to let him know that our people, we don't have any issues to talk about with Padang, as they usually claim that we have a land issue. There is, I said it last time very clear, there is no land issues in Malakal. Okay, those things has been settled through the peace negotiation.
He wants,
And I
Mr.
am,
William,
yeah, yeah,
Abel Kohn is saying send the link. So let us be fair and send him the link so he doesn't
yeah,
accuse us and say, oh, we never.
yeah. He is
Let
welcome
us give him
to
some
come.
time.
Yeah,
Go ahead. Go ahead.
yeah.
Yes.
So what I want to say here, that there are map that Shuluk and Maban or Danka, they have to present it to IGAD and to AU and to Terweka and to United Nations during the peace negotiation. And that map has not been done by Brother Abel is saying, we welcome you in an Agdiar. I don't know if you have hotel that time to welcome us. I don't know. Was you a doorman to welcome us? Or what was you that time? We welcome you, welcome you. Even you don't have hours to welcome people. We know Baliot. You don't have hours, you don't have a villages. How can you welcome people? We're trying to fix you, to civilize you, and then you say we welcome you. Who teach you the word welcoming? So you need to understand that. And when you twist the thing Anagdiar, that you're saying that Anagdiar is meaning the woman has been killed there. Who were the women you're talking about? And who killed them? We don't talk nonsense. So you lose already in the peace negotiation. You didn't have a truth to present. And then now, sometimes you saying, Padang is saying that we are a victim of 2013. That is true. That is true. But that 2013 give you a chance because the Southern Sudan club, and then you give you a chance to settle in other people's land. You never did it, as you acknowledge that we are all victim of 2013. Yes, all Southern Sudanese. But it gives you opportunity to settle in the land over other people who are buried on their ancestral land, and you don't have a shame to just stay on people there. But it's not our topic today. I just for your information to know that you don't have any legitimacy to say we welcome you. You didn't even have a land to welcome people. You don't even have whatever it takes to be a hospital person. So for us today, we're talking about pollution, which is very important for you. None of people in Malakal, they are benefiting from oil. Is you who are protecting the oil is Abushok and Motlum. You are protecting the oil. But I don't know if you have ability to handling that huge task. And now it's causing you a suffering for your own people. The pollution we are talking about is real, and then you don't see it. Maybe because you get little here and you have the house here, you do it, it's okay with you. But the majority of Apadang who are victim, nobody talking on their behalf. You're supposed to do that. I will read this as the final thing. That is not from me. It's from the Ministry of Environment. Okay, so he's saying her name is Josephine Napon Cosmos. On Tuesday said the oil companies were polluting the environment and killing people there because of the money, warning the company to embrace environmental and safety best practice in the oil field. Previously, scientific study linked oil exploration and extraction to polluting groundwaters and environment in oil producing area in southern Sudan. Civilians living near oil facilities have blamed oil activities for causing diseases in cattle and human beside causing miscarriage among women. According to the observers, none of the environmental transparency provision of the Petroleum Acts 2012 are being enforced. In particular, the requirement that oil spill and leak be disclosed to affected community. According to the ministry, her ministry has tried to call oil company, but they have been adamant. We have called them some time back, but we reached somewhere, and I think because of conflicts of interest, they decided to sideline the Ministry of Environment when they were called. My brothers and sisters working in those companies, we need you to cooperate, because if we file a case against you, that will be your end in the Republic of Southern Sudan. This is the Ministry of Environment, and we see it as a joke defending the government. Another one is for Jokino. Written by Jokino, is from the Ministry of Petroleum. It's saying the Ministry of Petroleum has accused the oil company of deliberately rejecting application from the local workforce. Okay, so in summary, this guy is saying that the foreigner, they are the one dominating and controlling the oil companies, and they are the one being employed. The local people, even though they have a qualification, they are not being allowed to work. So imagine this craziness. You are in your own country, you are not allowed to work, even you are a qualified person. One. At the same time, you are a victim. Your own land is being now subjected to a pollution. And that is what now is taking place in Paluch. And Abel is here. He's talking about an Agdiar, and he's not talking about the Paluch, what is going to happen to the Paluch because of the oil. Stop this craziness, or you can stay in an Agdiar as well as you desire, but you will be kicked out any time. That is something you have to know. America is leaving Afghanistan soon as they left Iraq. Other people land is other people land. No matter how super you are, the time will come for you to be kicked out because it's not your land and it's not your home. So respect the peace that has been negotiated and that we all support it, and be a good neighbor. Don't bring us a delusional and land issues. We welcome you, and you don't even know the word welcoming. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. William, for your last words. For conclusion, I think some people are ignorant, and maybe they know, they just pretend, but it's affecting all of us in one way or another. And I think Abel Kon is an example of a leader. Instead of supporting the locals to fight for environmental pollution and safety of his people, he's still supporting the government. So now you're in Canada, your people will finish. The Apadang people will die. Nasabushok Zato, they will die from that pollution, So who will be left? And you said you are a leader. What kind of a leader is this? He's talking about asking me if I know about land grabbing. Every Jenna, Abel, let me tell you in Arabic. Jenna, 5-year-old, Sagair, Jenna Sagair, Fikotoria, land knows about Dinka grabbing land in Juba. Don't say, Jojo, do you know about grabbing land issue? And I don't have to be from Melekal to talk about Melekal issue, because I'm a South Sudanese. I have the right to talk about my people issue. Melekal is in South Sudan. So being a South Sudanese, I can talk, I have a right. And Abel Kon, you seem you underestimate. I know better. You cannot provoke me. I'm one of the 35%. That's why you see me coming all the time. I don't think you will come with threats and threaten me. I'm not being threatened. I'm not. When I took the stand for 35%, I know that's why we're pushing for 50% because of people like you. So I want to give Mr. Otho some time to conclude, and then Maboro will be next. Then we will be, because we dropped the link, but I don't know, Abel Kon doesn't want to join. But
it's okay. We don't beg for people. Whoever is interested is welcome.
Yeah. Because I just want to clarify as a host, so that he doesn't claim and say, "Oh, we didn't call him. We drop it. You want to join? Is okay. You don't. We are concluding the show. Mr. William, you go forward. Mr. Otho, sorry.
You have two William here.
Honorable.
I think, our topic is clear. Anyway, we're talking about the corruption And one of the corruption, as I mentioned, land administration is also corrupt. So if you look to what we're talking about, like what happened in Juba, Wow, Upper Nile, it's a part of corruption we have in Southern Sudan. So if you get someone supporting that, I think is something he's demanding. But we are not going to allow fake demand to be implemented. So what I'm trying to say, conclude is this: corruption is real as we define it. في فساد المالي، فساد الإداري، فساد السياسي، وفساد في حاجات كتير. even الرشاوى، الرشوة اللي كان بدول مثلا واحد يمشي تلقى شايل له ذهب في العربية، يلقى لك واحد متحصل يعني بخلص القروش بتاع الحكومة يجروا بعيد كده. طبعا الحركات ده كان شمالين قاعد يعملوا، هو بيجي بالجلابيه بتاعه مقسم القروش تمام، القروش فعلا ظاهر في الجلابيه بتاعت بهناك. يقول تعال تعال يا كيف انت، وبدقوك في ظهرك بعد شويه، بدوك شويه، يلا بعد كده انت بخلي عربيه يمشي بملايين الدولارات او ملايين الجنيه السوداني فيه. والمهم corruption ده حاجه فعلا بيحتاج مننا كلنا يكون لنا نظام. we have to fight for a system. Let we think about what kind of system we want to apply in Southern Sudan so we can stop the corruption immediately. You know, like the way I look at it, in my conclusion, we need a satellite. So everything have to be a green screen, like what we're seeing in Western world. Okay, whoever log in there is and if something happen, you are going to be accountable for it. I think very simple and easy. Therefore, my conclusion in this issue, we have to come with the green screen, which is being used by satellite. Wherever login is accountable for that. Well, that's my suggestion for system in South Sudan to stop the corruption of land and tax and custom and public and natural and civil society. All those things, I think we have to do it. Even the hiring, when you hire someone, you have to write something under it. Why you select this person to be candidate than others. So all those things we are going to apply in Southern Sudan, but there is still missing one thing, which is a system. Once we agree about the system and we're able to get some countries to give us a space to have our information, like the way the other country going now, I think corruption will stop in Southern Sudan. إما الناس بتشوفوا أنفسهم هنا هيكونوا أغنياء، يا شيل القروش دي، لكن هنقدر نعرف مصادره بتاعه بعدين وين. انت لقيتهم كيف زاد من بقى عندك قيود بعمارات ده، انت كان شغال وين؟ نحن نعرف هنا في اي بزنس لازم نعرف مصدر بتاع البزنس بتاعك بدا كيف. سو من هناك لو عرفناه، لو بدا في الفساد انا متاكد هيجي قضاء او نظام قضائي سليم هيرجع قروش لشعب جنوب السودان، وهذا ده حصل في دول كثير في افريقيا. فالمهم في خلاصه بتاعت الكلمة الأخير أنا ده نقوله لشعب جنوب السودان، أنتم مساكين، نحن معكم، قلوبنا معكم، ونتمنى من الرب إن يوم ما هيجي ناس أولادكم كويسين ويقدر يوقفوا كل الأشياء اللي حاصل. بالذات نحن هنركز في أمان، لازم يكون في أمان. أنت تكون قاعد في محلك ما في واحد بيشيل حقك وما في واحد بيجي بعمل لك شنو بحدد لك عشان يشيل حاجات بتاعك. فالمهم نحن شغالين في الموضوع ده. Nile Nation Network is going to be live every Saturday في حاجات الحاصل في جنوب السودان. أي حاجة سمعناه هنيجي نقول لك وأنت تكون عارف الحاصل شنو. شكرا. أنا برجع ل host Juju and thank you for opportunity.
Thank you, Mr. Otho, for your nice words. We have to care about our people, the safety of our people, you know, and we believe, we trust that one day it is true. It will come to pass. God will hear their suffering and our crying too, our suffering, because if they suffer in South Sudan, we suffer outside here too, you know. So hopefully peace will be in South Sudan, and things will be better, you know. So with that being said, I would like to welcome Mr. Mabor to conclude in brief and tell us the solution about corruption.
Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity. I know my brother Abelkon always, when he know that people are close to close the topic, he will come late and then come and give an excuse at the last. Or he just want to make sure you want to get everything first and then you cut off the bab. Okay, uh, I will give him a time to come in.
Abelkon is here?
Why, guys? We close already. I think I say my conclusion.
Yeah.
Conclusion.
We done already.
Yeah.
Abelkon will just yeah, because we already we apologize.
Yeah, we are already closing. Yeah. So here is the topic.
Mabor, yeah, before you come, let me say something really quick. Abelkon, we sent you the link few minutes ago, and we apologize that you came last minute, like what Mabor is saying, and we have protocols, we have rules that we abide as Nine Nation Network. We already concluding, we cannot bring you. So sorry about that, we apologize. Mabor, you go ahead.
Thank you very much. Abelkon, so you see the link was being put there 30 minutes before time.
Just Mabor, go ahead and conclude, and then I will conclude the show.
Yeah, so let me put my conclusion. Corruption, the only way that we can punish this corruption is a reform. Reform is the only way that I, Mr. Mabor, cannot escape with my corruption, or someone like Abelkon cannot escape with the corruption, because if it is a reform means anybody who done a corruption cannot come back to the government. That's what is called reform, and that's what killed the corruption. But come to this issue, regime change, and yes, there's a regime change. If a regime change with the military, you cannot change the corruption, because if you change it with the military, so which means those who are corrupt within the country run to the bush and come and change it by force and come in and use the same corruption. But if we done it through election, yes, if I go there and I loot the country, I will be asked, what about what you done before? I will be having an explanation. Why I bring all those? I bring all those because corruption means only reform. And now we introduce the reform that supposed to do everything. That reform means someone who corrupt and has been identified should not enter into any ministerial or into any sector. It did not happen. Mr. President keep exchanging them, like when you get it, when you exchange your $100 and then you get $20 and get $5 and get $10 and get 25 cents, and you keep putting them into a pocket. That's how our president is. Let me put a little bit why our president is corrupt. We signed peace. We signed peace in 2018. The peace supposed to be implemented in 2019 early, and it's supposed to be finished within 2019.
Mabor, please, if you can summarize, that will be really good, because we're coming to the conclusion here. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. So, so within 2019, the implementation of peace supposed to be finished, but they are not. People are still talking about implementation 3 years later. That thing alone is a corruption. If we should identify it, who is the obstacle, is a corruption itself. Secondly, Mr. President changed three army, head of three army, which is a defense. 3 times within 3 years. 3 times within 3 years. That's the corruption, wasn't it? If someone does not know that that thing is a corruption, next topic should come and explain it to me why it's not a corruption. If people are dying with something that is not a natural death, it's a penalty, because this oil that is flowing around and nobody don't want to talk to anybody, and he's the person who's supposed to act and he's not acting. What does that mean? That's a corruption itself. I hope people should write those down and go and analyze them, research why they link me to corruption. People think when people pointing things out like that is a way to hate, to dwell on hatred on the president. No. It happened to have an argument with someone this morning about president doing something good, that he opened a way that he's doing very much now. Road is going. He was in that construction road since 2017. It's because reform has been tried to touch here. That's why there is a little lean up for the road. If it were him, without any reform that have been attached, that thing should not even move. And since 2017, the oil is still flowing to China, and nothing has been done. That's a corruption itself. People are celebrating in Juba today. That dollar went down, and now our pound is rising. I quoted Mr. President, dollar is still confused. Dollar is still confused that Mr. President is still in South Africa. They didn't know that it come back. Otherwise, if dollar notified it now, it could go back to 60 something.
So Mabor, what is the solution to conclude?
The solution is the nation and the people of South Sudan watch out. Only thing that should make this thing work well is this reform. Whether you're
Oh,
supporting Salva Kiir or you're supporting another party, you support reform and let that reform work. If that reform work, then you will be having no other problem. I will be having no point finger to you, neither you will not be having a point finger to me.
okay.
Let's work for reform. That's
Okay.
the solution.
Thank you. Thank you, Mabor. So, William, in one word, what is the solution for corruption? One word, one or two words.
Okay, yeah. Jujo, if you can allow me, there is just, I'm not going to talk about it, but I just want to acknowledge that in the last show, I think there was a question, if you don't mind, there was a question about the lost boy. And then question was about if corruption started with the movement. And then lost boy issues came in, and then there were people who raised their concern, the brothers who are part of the lost boy. So yeah, I want to let them know that we didn't ask that question to insult them or to demonize them, but it's just also because many people live in confusion or interpretation. So it's good usually when people have information. So we didn't have time, but after the our show, maybe the 2 day, and this message is for those people, especially the people who responded that time, that there was one person who was saying, "What is wrong with the lost boy guy?" And we are one of
Yeah.
them. You want to, yeah. So, but I think I talked in 2 day with Jeremiah. Jeremiah is a very honest person, and he's tell the truth. So he was explaining to me. I wish that we have a chance that time, so you could have talked live that time. So he explained how
Oh,
those things happen. So it gives me
yeah.
a full understanding that the issues. Let me just said what he said. He said that what happened at Losbo, and most of them were from Dankan, mostly from Bor. And as a result, that Grang, when he start the movement, he start recruiting the people in Bor. So as a result, many men they have gone, and the young people has been left. And also in 1991 incident, also it affect that areas. So many young people were left alone, and then now they end up moving to the movement, and then they were young. So that is how
Yeah.
they become a lost boy, you know. So
Okay.
it is a good information to know the history behind it. So that's why I
Oh,
want to say this, that
okay.
it was good to know that how things happened in the past. In coming back in how we can, what we can do with the corruption, I know nobody will listen to us, but we have a right to talk. uh, Reform is is Mobor said, reform of the countries, and that is what reform of the system of the government. This is what can bring the accountability. You know, so we need again peace to be implemented, so that the institution of the government or of the state will be uh, uh, functioning, independently. I think that's it. So where the people will be held accountable and people will be persecuted. You did wrong, and then you have to be persecuted or you have to be fired. But under this one now, under this environment we are in now, even Abel Kor is a
Let's
head of,
let's
a
leave
head of
Abel
the
Kor out
militia.
of this.
No, he just
William.
as an example.
Yeah,
So
just
he will
in
not,
two
he will not like the
words.
peace. Yeah. So yes, reform or implementation of the current peace, that is the way to fight the corruption. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you, Comrade William. I don't mean to cut you, but I know Abel Khan is trying to provoke and write stuff. Let us forget about him. I take from what Mabor said, reform regime reform, and what you said, the implementation of the peace agreement is important, and that will bring reforms in the country, and it will fight corruption. And one last word, Mr. Otho. Today, I don't know why, I'm sorry. I keep on calling you William, but
That's okay. That's okay.
one word, Mr. Otho. Yeah, one
Okay.
word.
Yeah, one word. As I said before, I conclude very clear that really we need a solution for corruption in Southern Sudan. So solution is a green screen, which is mean whoever lock in is the one who be responsible and is the one who can be persecuted by the judge or by the government of Southern Sudan at that time. But during the time of Salva Kiir, impossible. Nothing can happen because we know he don't want anything good actually for people of Southern Sudan. In conclusion, one day we will have a system set up and will save everybody fairly and fair shot and fair with everything process you are going to do for yourself and for your people. And thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Otho.
You are welcome.
Yeah. I think we have come to the end of the show. I want to thank all our viewers for your time, for your patience, being with us here. I know corruption is a disease in South Sudan. It become a pandemic, and we cannot be tired of talking about it. We will keep on talking, and like in the conclusion, the team has said that we need a regime change, we need a reform, we need the government to implement peace, we need the government to form the assembly, the General Assembly, so that we can go for election. And we need the environment to be safe and sound so that people can go to the election and vote. They have their rights to vote for any person that they want to become, to be the president and lead the country to a better country. We've been suffering. Corruption has been in our country for so long, and there's only few elites that are gaining from the country, and the poor people are suffering. And when there's a fair election, the judiciary system will change. There will be law of order. If somebody is corrupt, they will be taken to the court, they will be judged for it. I want to conclude by the saying of the UK Foreign Secretary, Dominic Raab. He's the one that announced the UK sanctions last week. This is the first time the UK have sanctioned people. So he said that, as I quote, he said, corruption has a corrosion effect as it slows development, drains the wealth of poorer nations, and keeps the people trapped in poverty. It poisons the wealth of democracy. It is true, our country is corrupt. There's no development. Development has been slowed. It drains the wealth, and we become a poorer nation. From poor, we become poorer. And it keeps our people trapped. Our people are trapped in all this war, in poverty. People are dying of hunger. People are dying of diseases. And it poisons democracy. So there's no fair democracy. There's no rights. You cannot speak up. You cannot vote. You lose your right to speak, your rights to freedom. There's no security. With that being said, I want to conclude that to stop corruption, in South Sudan, we need to speak. We don't need South Sudan to be a safe haven for dirty money laundering, to bringing terrorists to our country. You know, we need to speak. We need to keep fighting corruption. Then, for peace to prevail, we need to dialogue. We need to talk. It's been a pleasure for the Nile Nation Network to have all of you guys here with us, the viewers. We always come every Saturday. Hopefully, we see you guys next weekend with a new topic. And I want to say, have a nice weekend. Good night, everybody. Good night. Thank you.
Thank you, Juju. Thank you.
Thank you.
دولار يا جماعة ليه تدفعوا دولار في البنك؟ لا
Thank you,
لا لا
Jojo.
حتى الجدل المحلي
Thank
المانجا
you. Thank you.
واللبن كله بقى غالي قال عشان دولار دي نياي كلام دولار يا دولار ارجع بلدك كلام دولار كلام دولار بقى مشكلة جنوبين ما عنده قروش باكل وين ما عنده شغل باكل وين لو جات كله بقى دولار انا زعلان كلام دولار لو جات كله بقى دولار انا زعلان كلام دولار أفهم جو يا تجار كل شيء made in Juba ليه تقول بدولار دولار ده ما قروشنا I'm proud of South Sudan pounds وانا زعلان كلام دولار Mindu guruj bakul wen, mindu shokul bakul wen, lojat kulu piga dollar, anazalan kalam dollar. Lojat kulu piga dollar, anazalan kalam dollar. Dollar ya jamaa, maisha saba.
Good night, everyone.